Hey guys, lepedaler back with another video. Today we're going to be answering the question of, do you really need a power meter, or should you buy a power meter, or what is even a power meter? So if you guys are looking for the answer, stay tuned and let's get right into this video. Before I continue in this video, I would kindly ask if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I've been seeing a lot of growth recently, and that's really good because it helps with me putting out more content and just the overall growth of the channel. So if you could do that, it'd be greatly appreciated. So we're going to cut straight to the point and answer what is a power meter. So a power meter is a piece of equipment that either gets attached to the crank or to the pedals, and it can actually measure how much power you're putting through the pedals, and that power is actually measured in units called watts. So the higher the watts, more power you're putting in, and that's basically what a power meter does. It measures how much power you're generating. So right here I have a dual-sided power meter made by Giant. They call it the Power Pro. And the one thing that I love about dual-sided power meters in specific is that it's super accurate and measures not only the left leg but also the right leg. So it gives you a very accurate measurement and doesn't have to double any figures. But what I mean by that is that if you are on a budget, a single-sided power meter that's on the left side, the left arm crank, is more than enough. So what it'll do is actually measure your power from your left leg and just double that. And you can get a very accurate power reading from that. And I actually used that in the past with a Stages power meter, and I had no problems whatsoever. And it was a really good pacing tool. So, what's the reason of using a power meter? And I just said it, for pacing. Now, pacing is just gauging your effort. So instead of you mentally having to gauge how hard you should go or how easy you should go for recovery, or if you're trying to do an effort, with a power meter, since you have data, which is watts, that doesn't change no matter the gradient, no matter how tired you are, no matter how much you ate. Well, it will change on how tired you are because the watts will go down. But in terms of heart rate variability, heart rate changes a lot depending on if you've had caffeine or a bunch of other factors. Or power, speed, just have to put this in, speed changes depending on gradient, wind conditions, all that. But power stays the same no matter if you're on 10% gradient or if there's a lot of wind. 200 watts, 100 watts is 100 watts, indefinitely. So that's one thing that I love about power. So, you have to ask yourself, the question now is, do I need a power meter, or should I buy a power meter? So you should know by now from this video, what is a power meter, what types of power meters, and what does it do. So it's, like I said, for pacing, and it measures watts. And now, should you buy one? So I would say, for let's say for the people that are using cycling for fitness and weight loss, I would say at the beginning of your cycling journey, a power meter isn't, the most important thing, right? The most important thing is just getting out and riding. And since you're not going to be putting a lot of kilometers, just, going as hard as you can sometimes is the best form of training. Because, the goal is to get on your bike, to have fun. You don't want to be so focused on the numbers. Now, if you're someone that wants to take your training and you have the budget to spend on a power meter, because these can be quite expensive. If you have the budget and you really take it upon yourself to learn how to use a power meter and learn what training zones are and all that good stuff, then a power meter is super good because it will accelerate your progress, because you'll have, things to gauge your training. So, one day, you can tackle certain power zones, and the next day you can recover at a specific power zone, and, so on and so forth. So, a power meter does accelerate that training, but it's not necessary at the beginning. So I would say for, weekend rider or social riders or leisure riders, or even people doing it for fitness and weight loss at the beginning, a power meter isn't necessarily the first thing you really have to, buy. So I would just say riding your bike, picking maybe 2-3 days out of the week, or maybe just a hill that every time you ride, you try to go up it at least 1 or 2 times really hard. That should be more than enough at the beginning. But where the power meter really comes in handy is when you get a little bit more serious and you want to either, tackle, more fitness goals in terms of getting a better time up a climb, or just getting overall more fit, or you get into racing, or you just want to be a stronger rider. So even if you don't race, say there's, a local group ride, or you do a lot of group rides in a cycling club, a power meter and sticking to somewhat of a structured training is going to accelerate your fitness on the bike really quickly. And to figure these things out, it's not hard. And I do actually plan on making a video in the not so distant future of training zones, how to train with power, just a little bit more in depth. This is a very general, video on power meters, but I plan on going a little bit more in depth. So if you guys do want to see that, please smash the like button and drop a subscription to the channel so you guys stay notified when that video does come out. But all in all, I would say, the power meter, single-sided, which is just the left crank arm is all you need to start with. The reason why I got dual-sided power meter is because I do race, and having a little bit more accurate numbers does help, because then you can, have a better accurate reading and, work on some things in the off season in terms of leg strength. So it gets a little bit more, technical when you get into racing. But I would say for the normal rider, for the average rider, a single-sided power meter is all you need. But then again, that should be at least after you have 1 or 2 seasons of as much riding as you can get, and you get to the point where you start seeing a plateau in your fitness. So I hope this video kind of gave you guys an overview of what a power meter is, how does it work, what type of power meters there are, and if you should buy one. But that's for you guys to decide, and I plan on making more videos on this topic. So until the next one, keep on pedaling.